Good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Saurabh Roy. Welcome you all in the lecture series of electromagnetic waves and transmission. So introduction lecture we already started day before we started. Now in this lecture we'll discuss about the basic laws of electromagnetism. Okay. So we started from the electric field, then we will electrostatic, then we will move to the next point, magnetostatic, one by one. Okay. So first things here we have seen the one electromagnetic wave is moving through the x-axis. Okay, so here both component are there, that is electric field as well as magnetic fields are there. So those are the how electromagnetic waves is moving forward in a particular direction. Okay, now how the electromagnetic wave is generated. So here we have seen the time varying electric and magnetic time varying electric field created the magnetic field, as well as time varying magnetic field is created the electric field. Now in this lecture, on lecture 1, we will discuss about the Coulomb's law, we will discuss about the electric field lines and how the things are coming. Okay. So first thing, what is how electromagnetic phenomena came. Okay. So we know the first point is the charge is the origin of electromagnetic phenomena. All the electromagnetic behavior is based on charges. So if charge is static, it creates the static electric field. Okay. If charge is moving, so whenever charge is moving, that means it creates current. Moving charge means current. Whenever charge is moving, so the current is created along a path. So in this path, the magnetic field is created. Okay. So how the magnetic field, by using Thom's rule, we can find out the magnetic field created in a circular concentric circles. Okay, so moving charge created the magnetic field, static charge created the electric field. Now if it is time varying charges, then it will time varying field, then it will creates both electric as well as magnetic field. Okay, so charge is the origin of the electromagnetic phenomenon. Now we will discuss about the static charges. Whenever two static charges is there, that is called Q1 and Q2, if we comes along with them, then there is some forces is there. So that forces is defined by the Coulomb's law. So it states that force F between two point charges Q1 and Q2, first point is along the line joining them. Okay, directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Okay, so charges, it states that the force F between two point charges Q and Q along the line joining them. Okay, next directly proportional to the product of the charges, and third point is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Now if you consider two charges is there, one is Q1 and Q2. So as per law, F equal to proportional to Q1 Q2, F proportional to 1 by R square, and F proportional to this along the line joining them. Okay, so along the line joining means in which direction it is moving from A to, so based on force unit vector will come. Okay, so F equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R square, when Q1 is point charge 1, Q2 is point charge 2, and R is the distance between two point charges, and K is this Coulomb's constant, we can call it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is 9 into 10 to the power 9 meter per farad. So that is the Coulomb's law in scalar point of view. Now we'll see how the things are there. So now here we are considering Q1 and Q2 2 point charges is there. So Q1 coordinate is x1, y1, z1. Q2 coordinate is x2, y2, z. Now 2 points, that is the 2 point charges. Okay. Now according to our laws, if 2 point charges is there, then there must be some attractional force or repulsive force will be there. So see, there are two forces we are considering, F12 and F1. F12 means forces of Q2 due to Q1. Similarly, F21 forces on Q1 due to Q2. Okay. Now we are considering, whenever we are considering these charges on, so their coordinate system will come. So here we are considering, that is the Cartesian coordinate system. So here that is the origin of the point, origin is 0 0 0. So the distance factor from origin to Q1 is R1, and distance factor from the origin to Q2 is R2. So what is the value of R1? R1 equal to x1 minus 0 x, y1 minus 0 ay z1 minus 0 az, where ax, ay, az is the unit vector. Similarly, R2 equal to x2 minus 0 ax, y2 minus 0 ay plus z2 minus 0 az. Okay. So now, F12 we know force on Q2 due to Q1. Now, if we will find out the force value F12, then F equal to 1 to K Q1 Q2 divided by R square AR, or 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square, where AR is the unit vector between them. So we can find out AR is the unit vector, we know any vector is divided by its magnitude, then it is called unit vector. So now 1 by what it is the distance we are considering, Q1 and Q2 distance between this point is R. Okay, so distance between Q1 and Q2 is R vector. Okay, so R vector will be, if we are considering Q2 to F12, then F12 value will be K Q1 Q2 divided by R12 square. So R12 will become R2 minus R1, or we can say x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1, and similarly unit vector will come. Okay, so we'll get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R cube, and this one is R vector. Okay, now what are those R vector? So we can consider this R equal to x2 minus x1 ax. Ax is the unit vector in x direction, y is the unit vector in y direction, az is the unit vector in the z direction. So R will get x2 minus x1 ax plus y2 minus y1 ay plus z2 minus z1 az. Okay, now what is the magnitude of the R? Any vector magnitude we can calculate by using R equal to mod of R root over x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square plus z2 minus z1 square. So this one will become F12, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R cube into R. Okay, now F21 will become minus F12. So these are the Coulomb's law. So where epsilon value is there, that is called the permittivity of the medium. So for a AR dielectric medium, the permittivity of the medium is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 Faraday per meter. Okay, so that is the overall Coulomb's law if 2 point charges is there. Okay, now if instead of 2 point charges, if so many point charges is there, like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, then this one Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and then due to these point charges, what will be the effect of P? If any charges Q is there, so what will be the effect of P, that we'll try to calculate. Okay, or what is the overall charges due to, if Q charges is placed there, Q charges is there at P point, then what will be the total force we'll calculate. Okay, so first we are considering the R vector is R1 is the distance vector from Q1. So R1 will be x1 minus 0 ax, y1 minus 0 ay, z1 minus 0 ay. Similarly, R2 equal to same, x2 minus 0 ax, y2 minus 0 ay, z2 minus 0. Similarly, R3 will come, R4 will come. Now all those points, due to those points, what will be the total force on Q? So that is the addition or superposition theorem. We can add those back to, that is the vector addition. Okay, so now due to this, total force will be F equal to R1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R minus R1 whole cube, and R minus R1 is the vector. Okay, so R distance vector minus R1 distance. So we will get R minus R1 will be x minus x1 ax plus y minus y1 ay plus z minus z1 az. Similarly, for this Q2 vector, what is the Q2 point charges, what is the force on Q? So this will 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 divided by R minus R2 whole cube, and this one, this is R minus R2 vector. So R minus R2, how we will calculate? X minus x2 ax plus y minus y2 ay plus z minus z2 az. Similarly, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 divided by R minus R cube, R3 whole cube, R minus R3 plus, which one will left? Another term will come, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q4 divided by R minus R4 whole cube, R minus R4. So that is the overall, if multiple charges is there, what is the total force? So that forces we can calculate F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R minus R1 whole cube into R minus R1 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 R minus R2 whole cube into R minus R2. Similarly 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 divided by R minus R3 whole cube into R minus R3 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q4 R minus R4 whole cube into R minus R4. So those are the overall forces. So it is just addition of all those forces by using superposition or vector addition. Okay. So this is the for multiple charges what is the total force. By using Coulomb's law we can calculate. Now we will see the next point. If two charges are same, then what will happen? So like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. What is the unlike charges? Means two different charges. Now if you see like charges means plus plus, then they will repel each other with force is F. Okay. So they will repel each other. Unlike charges, they will attract each other. Okay. Now next point. So if two charges are separated by a distance r and have a force F on each other. Okay. Now if you want to do some manipulation on r or q1 value, then what will be the effect of those forces? If r is double, then F is become 1/4. Okay, because we know F equal to proportional to 1 by r square. So r is double means r become 2r, then F become 1 by 4. Similarly, if Q1 is double, then F is 2F. Okay, because we know the force is proportional to the product of two charges. So F equal to Q1 into Q2. So if Q1 is become double, then it will get Q1 is double, then F is 2F. Okay, if Q1 and Q2 are double, then R is hard, then F is become 16F. So those are the relation. If we will do something with Q1, Q2 or R, what are the force, how the forces is changes. So that is the overall things of some contains method, what are the changes of R and Q2. Okay, so now we'll see the what are the Q value, how it is created some force or field. So that is called electric field. Okay, so those are called the lines. Here you will see the positive charges, the forces lines is outside, and if negative it's inside direction. Okay, so those are the overall field. Means what is means of field? If any charges come to this particular area, so if it is positive charges, then it will repel that charges. If it is negative charges, then it is attract. Okay, so those are the called field of this particular Q charges, and similarly these are the field for the these particular charges. So here the electric field lines or lines are coming outside from the positive charges, and for negative charges it is coming inside. Okay, so that's are the things for how the electric fields for the static charges. Okay, now we'll see in detail. So electric field, that is the negative charges, so fields are coming inside. So if any other charges comes to this particular area, so then either it will attract or repel by those particular charges. Okay, so that is the electric field. Now here we have seen that separate charges. Now if field line point toward negative charges and away from positive charges, we already mentioned. Now if two charges is there, positive negative, so electric field will come out from the field line, will come out from positive and it will goes inside it negative. Similarly, if both are negative, then it will repel each other. So field line or electric field will look like that. Similarly to positive also, electric field will look like that. So there are three particular conditions. One is positive negative, another one is both are negative, another one is both is positive. Okay, so that is the overall drawing of the electric field lines. So what is the line important, or what is the important of those things? Now if any charges comes to this particular field line here, it will then it will overall the another charge will affect, either it is reflect or either it is attract by that particular charges. So it likes that particular area of the charges where it affects are there, those are called electric field. So those are the textbooks we are following: Sadiko, Matthew, the elements of electromagnetics, and as well as Hayat. So you can follow any books. So those books are very good. So in the next lecture we will cover some other topics like electric field intensity, how electric field intensity for an infinite long wire, how you can calculate. So those we will discuss one by one. So I hope you will like this lecture. Okay, so next lecture we'll see, or lecture number 2, we'll see the details of the electric